Welcome to the NOCA News Network. I'm Ricky French, here with Dan Colley, per usual.
Well,
what's going on, Dan?
It's because you haven't kicked me out of here yet, man.
I might at some point.
Yeah, it's possible.
What do we got coming up in the first segment today, Dan?
Oh, the history of fools, Leggo my Legos, the 8-armed ass kicking in the Metal News segment, and French people lack a sense of humor, Ricky.
Tell me something I don't know. All right. As you know, last week was April Fool's Day. Well, not last week was April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day was last week.
Ricky, this is already starting off worse than the idea, let's block the Suez Canal for a week and a half.
I don't think that was an idea, more so an occurrence.
Well, you don't know. Did you ask the guy?
No, I didn't ask anyone. All right. So because April Fool's Day was last week, I got some stories here that were actual stories from the news that have occurred over the years on April 1st that people thought were not real. Are
you telling me this is one of our world-famous NOCA News Network lists that we like to do?
Kinda.
All right. I like lists.
So
as much as the next guy.
One of the stories that came out on April 1st was that Marvin Gaye passed away. The Prince of Motown was at the peak of his career in the 80s, famous for hits like I Heard It Through the Grapevine and How Sweet It Is.
Dude, the Grapevine song was by a bunch of raisins.
Yeah, well,
you can't
forgot
fool
about
me.
That. There's also the Creedence version, which it sounds a little bit different because he says, I hoid it through the grapevine.
I hoid it. That's true.
But yeah, so Marvin Gaye's father shot him, as we know, which is not cool. But
no,
that was April,
no, that's not cool.
That was April 1st, 1984.
That might be one of the most low-key way I've ever heard of having that described is not cool.
It wasn't cool at all.
No.
I, for one, am against it.
We here on the NOCA News Network are officially taking a stand saying that was not cool.
Yeah, come on, Marvin Gaye's dad. In 2004, on April 1st, Google launched Gmail, and people thought that was a joke.
Well,
back in 2004, when most of us were struggling to deal with the 2 megabytes and 4 megabyte capacity of free email accounts like Hotmail and Yahoo, when
I still have a Hotmail account.
Google announced, I know you do. So when search engine Google announced it was launching a free email service called Gmail with 1 gig of space, the public immediately assumed that it was too good to be true.
Is that what the G stands for? Gig?
No, it stands for Google.
Well, that's kind of what I thought, but then when you said it was gig, it kind of threw me off, man.
No.
So it could stand for gig, though.
It doesn't.
But it could.
In as much as it is a G and gig starts with G, then yeah, I guess it could.
So,
it just doesn't.
So what you're telling me is I could be right.
No, I'm telling you, you're definitely wrong.
Well, we're just agree to disagree, Ricky.
Okay. Sonic teams up with Mario. Sega and Nintendo enjoyed a fierce rivalry in the gaming world throughout the 90s, of course. Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog and Nintendo's Mario were constantly in competition at that time, so the prospect of a merger seemed so outlandish that nobody believed a story about them teaming up in a game called Sonic and Mario at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's my son actually has that game, but I thought you were talking about the drive-through restaurant Sonic when you first started that story.
I'm sure there's a guy named Mario who works at a Sonic, but that wasn't what I was talking about.
Probably. He probably has like 9 fingers, makes french fries.
Back in 1947, King George II of Greece died on April 1st, and people thought that wasn't real.
Back in 1947? You're like talking like you're in the war now.
Yeah, well, he passed away of arteriosclerosis, which doesn't sound good at all.
It is not.
Greeks ignored it. They thought it was a joke, a tasteless joke at that. Let's see. A little bit later in time, 1946, there was a tsunami of the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. People were warned that this tsunami was coming, and they thought it was a prank.
The 7 people that live in the Aleutian Islands back in 1946 in Alaska?
Yeah, right.
How are you going to warn I would assume most of them were indigenous peoples of Alaska in 46. It's not like you can send out a Gmail account email to all of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Penguin mail?
I do not know. Let's see. And then finally, AMC launches The Gremlin on April 1st in 1970.
You know what? Speaking of which, I saw a Pacer for sale on the way up here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know it's not a Gremlin, but they're both small, little, crappy, compact hatchback cars. So,
Right. Yeah.
that's all. I mean, that was my exciting part of my day today is I got to see a Pacer for sale.
Well, I feel bad for you.
Well, I was going to tell you. I mean, I know it's not quite the station wagon that you want brought back to life, but
My station wagon is very much alive.
yeah,
now.
but you want one of those Woody wagons.
No, I like the one I have.
You want a van.
I like vans.
You're a creepy van guy.
I like vans.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not going to apologize for it either.
I tried a pair of Vans on the other day, but they're too small for my feet.
Good one, Dan. Let's move on.
That was a fact. April Fool. Okay, let's talk about some more April Fool's crap here. I said the French they don't have a sense of humor. Remember?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So in France, they have a delivery service called Deliveroo because that's the worst sounding name ever.
Deliveroo. It's probably more like Deliveroo.
Deliveroo customers who received fake bills for hundreds of euros worth of pizza have failed to see the funny side of an April Fool's joke. On April 1st, thousands of customers of the delivery platform across France, got confirmation emails for orders totaling over 450 euros, which equates to 530 American dollars, or as we like to call it, real money. Many took to social media to express anger at the stunt.
Euros are actually worth more than
They said,
money.
well, some places. Well, what was that? You threw me. Oh, yeah. I was going to do a stupid bit about this.
Blame it on me.
Late on Thursday, Deliveroo informed its customers via Twitter and email that it had not been serious. My bad. Joke, JK.
We were just joshing.
Yeah. They go on to say, we confirm that it is an April Fool's joke. The clarification read, you can enjoy the evening by ordering the pizza of your choice. Okay. But few customers were amused. One of them said he had almost a stroke after receiving a 466 euro invoice for 38 pizzas that had never been ordered. I assume they all had snails on them because that's all they eat.
Snails and really bad cheese.
Well, and really bad comedy movies and accents and.
All right. Well, we're going to stay in France, unfortunately.
Do we have to?
Yeah, I know. Toy shops in France have been targeted by a gang of international Leggo thieves who attempted to steal valuable collectible sets, police allege.
That sounds like the premise of the next Muppet movie coming out.
Officers took 3 people into custody, 2 men and a woman.
Well, I mean, honestly, though, Ricky, you can't afford the damn things.
Well, I know. They are outrageously priced. I've been thinking of starting a crime ring based on Legos myself. Officers took, 3 people into custody, like I said, 2 men and a woman who had traveled from Poland to a town outside Paris where they were caught raiding a shop.
Okay, there is a very bad 80s joke there somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. While millions of children have grown up playing with plastic bricks that start selling for around $10, rare series such as Lego Ultimate Collector's Series Millennium Falcon have reached $15,000.
Have you seen that damn thing, by the way?
No, I haven't.
It's monstrous.
Not the Ultimate Collector Series. I've seen the regular Lego.
Yeah, no, I saw I watched a YouTube video where a guy was building that and like one of the Star Destroyers.
Oh yeah,
it was massive, dude. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You
said Star Wars. My brain went to Geekland.
The first edition of the Lego Taj Mahal is valued around $3,800.
You know that's a tomb, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
All right, go ahead then. Nice. That's it. That was it. That was all I had about the Taj Mahal.
An officer quoted in Le Parisien newspaper confirmed the arrest, saying, "They come to France. They set up in a hotel in Paris." Then set about raiding toy stores before returning to Poland to sell off their haul.
They had some cheese. They should have went to that monastery and got all that cheese that was backed up there.
They could have done that.
They could have used all that Lego cash.
Apparently, there are more Lego thieves around the world. In Australia in 2014, professional thieves were targeting toy shops in Victoria and New South Wales, and they took $22,000 worth of them.
Damn, they got 3 whole sets of Legos out the door?
I know, man.
Did you have Legos as a kid?
Yeah, I did.
Did you have any cool sets, or did you just have the basic building blocks?
I had basic stuff.
When I was a kid, you had the space stuff, which was okay, but the knights with the castles and the horses, I always wanted one of the big castles, but
Yeah.
I made them out of tissue boxes and toilet paper rolls, essentially, at that point as a kid.
All the ones I had were like, there were things like police station, fire station, that kind of stuff.
The local crack den down the street.
Crack den,
Yeah, the Lego crack den. That's what they need for the Lego police station, because what are you going to do, just pull over the flower cart people? No, you need Lego crack dens.
Right?
That would be metal as hell. Wouldn't it, Ricky?
Would be. Does that mean what I think it does?
Metal news. A man had his ass whipped by what he described as the angriest octopus while swimming on holiday at a Western Australian beach, Ricky. In a video that has gone viral, the octopus can be seen in shallow waters lashing out at a geologist named Lance Carlson. Lance. Mr. Carlson said he was about to take a dip near the resort where he and his family were staying in Geograph Bay when he saw what he thought was the tail of a stingray striking a seagull. Damn, Australia, you're buck wild, man. Everything down there will kill you, won't it? Well, he discovered it was an octopus only when he walked closer with his 2-year-old daughter, and he was filming the video. And it finally struck at their direction. It said, "Oi, dickhead, quit taking videos of me." The octopus lashed out at us, he says, which was a real shock. Yeah, no shit, pal. If I had an octopus lash out at me, I'd crap myself. Later, when he went back into the water alone, the octopus found him again and struck him. The octopus was a real badass. He was like, "I want more of this, dude." He said, "My goggles had become fogged and the water was suddenly murky, and I remember being shocked and confused." Yeah, and ass whipped. You know, Ricky, that the octopus is like the Steven Seagal of the ocean, right? So anyway, this guy also was a lifeguard at one time. And he figured, you know what? Normally you use vinegar to get all that crap off of you, but all you had was some Coke. He had some cola, so he poured that on him and went, that'll work. Well, I mean, that's all he had. He said it turned out pretty good. I prefer mine with cheap whiskey myself, Ricky.
All right, one last thing. A woman is sentenced to 5 years for fatal silicone butt injections in a St. Louis hotel. Nitika Lee pleaded guilty Thursday to involuntary manslaughter. The 49-year-old admitted to traveling from Dallas, Texas to meet a woman who wanted hip and butt enhancements.
I mean, okay, so look, it's hard to do a story where someone died, but, I mean, they did inject silicone into their butt in a hotel room in St. Louis.
Yes.
How did they think that was going to turn out well?
I don't know. Lee arranged to do the procedure at a hotel near St. Louis Lambert International Airport.
Oh, is that what they're calling a murder now? A procedure?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, manslaughter?
The hotel was not aware of what was going on, of course, because they would have had a problem with that, I'm sure.
Unless it was like a Motel 6.
Well, yeah, maybe. Or like a Super 8.
That'd have been on the continental breakfast menu then.
Court documents say it was a secret backroom procedure for women who wanted their bodies to look plumper in certain places. And that defendant Lee reportedly caused the death of Daisha Phillips by injecting her buttocks with silicone substance in 2015, which caused a silicone pulmonary embolism. Ugh. That sounds horrible.
Man, that does not sound like a pleasant way to go. My butt's huge, and all I did was just eat some Twinkies and stuff, dude.
Yeah. So
I mean, I may still have an embolism from eating all the Twinkies, but I mean,
it won't be a silicone embolism.
No, it'll be a hostess, hostess
It'll be a
embolism.
tasty cake.
That's a big Twinkie.
They'll have to take Dolly Madison to court.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust her if I were you.
What's coming up in the second segment today, Dan?
We're going to visit Florida man or Florida men, I suppose. We're going to do some Zambonis and Za and Super Mario Sale 6600 one-ups.
Local News Network.
pretty sweet looking shirt you got there, Dan.
Well, thank you, Mr. French. It does say No Cut News Network on it.
It does.
Yeah.
Just like the hoodie I have on.
Well, it's because we both got them at the nocanews.store store.
Yep, the nocanews.store. I'm proud of you for saying the right website at least.
Well, I wrote it down finally.
That's good.
After 5 weeks. But I hate saying .store. Can we call it the .store market?
I suppose if you want to be highfalutin about it.
I don't know how falutin I would be, but anyway, the nocanews.store location on the internet is your one-stop shop for all the Noca News merchandise, because I don't think anyone else sells it.
No, that would be a bad idea if they did, because they wouldn't make anything off it.
Sue you. Anyway, guys, check us out at nocanews.store and buy some swag.
Are you into model trains? Well, I'm not, but if you are, I've got a great suggestion, and that's Scale Sound Systems. Scale Sound Systems offers aftermarket drop-in speaker systems, LED conversion kits, decoders, parts, and installation services for model trains. Scale Sound Systems is an authorized ESU, Soundtracks, and TCS dealer and offers the best sounding HODCC speaker systems on the market. Find Scale Sound Systems on Facebook, visit YouTube for demonstration and installation videos, and visit them at scalesoundsystems.com to shop and for other great information. scalesoundsystems.com. Welcome back. It's the Noca News Network. The news no one cares about. I'm Ricky French. Dan Colley is Macarena-ing to our theme song right now.
Well, you talk about something no one cares about, Ricky. That's the Macarena. Oh.
Yeah, it's no one cares about that since 95.
4 or 5. Yeah, I mean, close enough. Yeah.
All right.
Ricky, you want to talk about the 90s? Or the 80s?
When don't I want to talk about the 90s?
I know, right? Hey, Ricky.
Yes.
Did you have an NES as a kid?
Yeah, I did. I got one for Christmas when I was 5. It was the greatest gift.
Well, yeah,
ever.
Obviously. I remember that day like it was Christmas. Like it was...
Because it was Christmas.
Yes, it was.
And then so many years later, I got a Nintendo 64 with GoldenEye for Christmas.
Really?
Which was also awesome.
I got one for Easter.
Oh, well.
It had the WCW wrestling game with it.
You know, I always used to get for Easter.
Shitty chocolate?
Those
Matchbox car.
Those giant styrofoam airplanes that they used to make.
Oh, yeah.
They might still make them. I don't know. But
oh, man, we got to get some of those and play with those.
Yeah, they're really fun for the 7 minutes that they exist.
You know, I bet because you have many years as an aviation expert, that might help you get into space camp.
Yeah. It may.
It might.
We'll see.
All right, let's go back to the NES. That was supposed to be a setup for this story. That
I know.
That really.
I'm just showing you what it feels like to ruin something on this show.
Really, we're gonna air our grievances now.
Well, that's part of Festivus.
That's
right?
true. Well, we were talking about Christmas after all. A sealed copy of the NES classic Super Mario Brothers sold for an incredible $660,000 at Heritage Auctions on Friday, more than quadrupling the previous record for the most expensive game ever. This isn't the first time Super Mario Brothers has held a record. A mint copy of the U.S. version of the game sold for $114,000 in July 2020, which broke the record of $100,150 set by another copy of Super Mario Brothers in February 2019. In November, however, a different title set a new record, a sealed copy of Super Mario Bros. 3 for a $156,000 bill, making it the most expensive video game ever sold until this copy. What makes this version of Super Mario Bros. So special is it was the finest plastic sealed copy with perforated cardboard hang tab we ever offered of any black box title. Evidently, this game, someone had bought it right off the tab rack, the post, the peg hook,
right,
whatever it's called, and they'd put it in a drawer and forgot about it. So it sit there from '87 on, basically, and was mint. and sit there forever, and that's why it was so valuable.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah. Super Mario Bros. 3, my buddy got it for Christmas. We opened his package early, got it out, played it, put it back in there, and rewrapped it.
You rascals.
Well, yeah.
What was that game? It's one of the stadium events, I think is what it's called. It's one of the rarest NES games. It was intended to work with the pad.
Summer Olympics?
No, it's called stadium events, I think.
I think you're making some shit up.
I really don't think I am.
I remember the Summer Olympics thing, track and field. I remember track and field.
I watched a documentary about a guy who was trying to collect every NES title. And it was a super boring documentary, but I'm pretty sure there were like 2 really rare NES games, and that took him a really long time to find, and that was one of them.
Did he get them all?
He did, yeah.
Nice.
Well, actually, no. I think there was another. I don't remember the details of this honestly, but I think there was another pretty rare game that he didn't end up being able to find.
The first one I ever bought with my own monies as a little whippersnapper was Zelda.
Yeah, it was a good one.
The gold case Zelda was awesome. My wife always talks about she had the Spot video game, the 7-Up mascot Spot.
Yeah, I've seen
she had that one. She would always talk about.
There was I didn't have this, but this kid that I knew did. Domino's Pizza made a video game.
The Noid.
Yeah, it was called Yo Noid.
Yeah. I remember that one, yeah. I didn't have that one either, but I did have the American Gladiators game.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was dog shit.
I didn't have that one, but I believe I rented it a couple of times.
Oh, man. Going and renting video games as a kid was great. You'd rent Goonies.
It was like your whole weekend.
Oh, yeah, you'd get the 3-day rental, and you'd be set. They'd take it back Monday after school. I mean, you'd probably forget to get it, so then you wouldn't be able to have it with you when you got picked up from school to take it back and drop it off, so then your mom would get mad at you and say, to hell with it, we're just keeping it for another 3 days. We're already going to get banged for the late fee anyway, right. Which was your plan to begin with because you were on the 5th level and you almost beat the boss.
Right, exactly. Right.
So, yeah, so you ended up having to pay $6 instead of $3 for Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy. Okay, let's move on to this character out of upstate New York. There's been a lot of strange
upstate New York
goings on.
Dude, that's North Florida.
Okay, so now with upstate New York's North Florida.
Yeah.
Arizona's West
Florida. Yeah. No one has stepped forward to claim the title of East Florida yet, which will be kind of difficult because Florida's really kind of east anyway.
Yeah, right.
But I mean,
I think it might be New South Wales, Australia. That place seems to
all of Australia. Yeah, they've got octopus fights there, and what was some of the other silly crap? We've got the Nabinji was there.
Yeah, right.
Old first episode Nabinji.
Yeah, that's New South Wales is East Florida.
If anyone knows the Nabinji, you're an OG Noka News fan, and we appreciate you.
This is out of Colony, New York, a suburb of Albany. Police say a man there was released from jail on Wednesday morning on cash bail. And then he drove more than an hour away and stole a pellet rifle from a Walmart and used it to threaten people while attempting to steal 2 cars.
Did he plan on driving an hour away on purpose to do that?
I don't know.
Or did it just happen to be that was I mean, that's not where the closest Walmart was. Obviously, they're right down the road.
Yeah, well, I assume. I don't really know anything about Colony, New York, but
you do know something about Walmarts.
I know a little bit about Walmarts. The defendant, Daquan D. Forehand.
Do what? His name is Forehand?
Yes, Forehand.
Instead of 5-hand or forehead or...
Yes, Forehand.
Okay.
He's from Utica. He's now charged with 2 counts of second-degree attempted robbery, menacing a police officer, and 4th-degree grand larceny. All those charges are felonies. He's also charged with 1 count of resisting arrest, 3 counts of 4th-degree criminal possession of a weapon, 8 counts of second-degree menacing,
and 1 count of shooting his eye out.
Right. So according to the Colony Police Department, Forehand bailed out of the Oneida County Jail and traveled to Latham, New York, and went shopping with a relative at a Walmart. Inside, the police say he suddenly grabbed the pellet rifle from the store clerk and ran through the store and into the parking lot.
Give me that damn pellet rifle. Did he have any pellets in it?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So just the rifle.
From there, he allegedly ran through the area, menacing multiple people and attempting to steal at least 2 vehicles.
He probably was scaring the hell out of people. They thought it was a real rifle or something nowadays. Yeah.
Right. officers arrived and took
Should have grabbed one of the toy lightsabers out of the toy department and menaced people with that.
That wouldn't have been quite so menacing, I don't think.
Well, up there, they may have not known the difference.
Police showed up. There was a huge police response, obviously, because there's been a real issue lately with people. Not lately, but especially lately with people shooting in malls and grocery stores. Obviously, in Colorado was a terrible shooting recently. So the police are not taking these things lightly.
No, and no, they shouldn't. I mean, no. All joking aside, unless Ralphie is trying to protect his backyard, then you have to have a police presence at that point. It's,
of course.
So this guy, he went to a Walmart. Just happened to go to the Walmart. So the Walmart was just the fact that he happened to be there with a relative.
Yeah, and then he loses his mind and grabs a pellet gun and starts threatening people.
You don't see that type of behavior out of Target shoppers so much.
A little bit more sophisticated.
Maybe Kohl's. I could see some Kohl's people losing their shit and stealing like a handbag, a fake Prada handbag, and swinging it at somebody or something.
Well, if there were still Kmart's around, that kind of thing would probably go down.
Well, yeah, because like Target's got what? They got the little food court. Walmart, they have what, like Subways or some crap in there?
Yeah, Subways, or I've seen a McDonald's in one before.
No, I don't think I would eat that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Target has what? They have Starbucks and...
I believe many of them have little Pizza Huts.
Yeah. So Kmart had, of course, the Slurpees or the slushies.
Yeah.
And they had Little Caesars. Pizza.
Indeed, they did. By the way, not to take...
Blue Light Special?
Not to take you too far off topic here, but...
Well, I do get lost.
You're from Kentucky.
Yes.
Did you ever happen to... Was there a Hills department store where you...
No, we didn't. I never saw a Hills until I would come to visit family in Columbus.
Okay.
That was the first time I saw Hills.
Yeah, as we had one where I grew up, and the reason I bring that up is because as a kid, the snack bar at that place was like epic. They had like giant bags of popcorn and giant soft pretzels and hot dogs on the rolling thing.
Kind of like going to like Sam's Club or Costco.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And they had one. They had that thing that those places had back then in
the Wheel of Doom,
late '80s, early '90s. No, it was the fountain with the fruit punch sort of circulated inside of the...
Oh yeah, okay. You can go to like certain restaurants and they have those in there for like iced teas or flavored lemonades or something.
Yeah.
So the fluid in it is always yellow or red or whatever color it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But the fluid you see doing the fountain technique, like at the Bellagio, is always white. Is always clear. It's just water.
Right. Yeah.
So why in the hell is that stuff always just clear water, but the fluid in the bottom is colored?
I don't know, man.
I don't know if I'd drink out of those.
Anyway, speaking of department store snack.
Little
food
Caesars
course.
things. That was the segue we were trying for there. Little Caesars, which is obviously, we're never getting a sponsor from these guys.
Oh, no.
We talk about them enough, but it's always basically dumping on them. Little Caesars pizza chain wants to buy...
Well, it's sort of hard not to.
Well, it's Little Caesars. They want to buy the naming rights to your living room, fan cave, or basement, wherever you watch NHL hockey, and they're willing to pay... in crazy bread every week until the end of the season.
Sign
Ricky.
Me up.
I won't be doing this with you.
I'm not doing it either.
You'll be all gassed up with crazy bread. Fans who signed...
that's crazy sauce, too. That's the other thing.
Well, that should be called lunatic sauce or something. If you're going to name a bread crazy bread, just go all the way out and call it like... nuts bread or lunatic sauce.
I think they thought of nuts bread, but then it didn't really have the right ring to it.
Lost my damn mind sauce or just something.
Something about nuts bread didn't work, and they
insane dipping sauce. Right. Let's see. Okay, so fans who signed a naming rights contract. Contract, there's a T at the end of that, agreed to rename their TV room to the Little Caesars NHL Hockey Room. Then they will receive payment, quote unquote, of a coupon code in their inbox for crazy bread each week until the end of the NHL season.
I like how you said crazy bread there.
And it says here, this is not an April Fool's joke, according to a PR representative.
They are quite serious.
They are serious. According to I missed the pizza bit.
I
They don't do
kinda
that anymore, do they?
No, they don't.
Well, why? Then what's the point?
I don't know.
What kind of world do we live in where they don't do pizza? From the signing of this contract, your room will officially be, according to the company. This is the official stuff here.
Oh,
so,
this is the contractual obligation.
yeah, let me do professional voice now. From the signing of this contract, your room will officially be renamed to Little Caesars NHL Hockey Room. At any point of the signing of this contract, you must refer to that room in its new legal name. For example, if you were arguing with your roommate about cleaning the living room, you'd contractually be obligated to say, I cleaned the Little Caesars NHL Hockey Room last time. You always do this. It's your turn to clean the Little Caesars NHL Hockey Room. Okay, I've had it. The code can be used for free crazy bread with any pizza purchase. To find the contract, visit pizzanighthockey.com. So it's not free. You still got to buy shitty pizza.
Yeah, but it's only like $5 or something.
Well, so is the bread. So who cares?
If you,
I would think that that's more apropos to name your crapper after Little Caesars.
Hi, this is my Little Caesars NHL John.
Yeah, exactly. Ricky, do you have any stories that aren't Little Caesar based?
Well, no. I mean, yes.
well, folks, I thought we only had one Little Caesar story, but I've been sorely mistaken, I guess.
Apparently, the entire show is going
It's
to be
all Little Caesars here. Today's episode.
well,
all right, Florida Manus.
Yes, we're
Florida people.
heading to Florida as we often do.
We should refer to Florida as Florida Prime from now on because
Florida Prime.
Yeah, because if Florida West is going to be Arizona and Florida North is going to be upstate New York, then Florida itself has to be Florida Prime or Ground Zero. But we can't really say Ground Zero because people might get that confused. So let's just say Florida Prime.
Yeah, right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. This is out of Alachua County, Florida. Alachua County deputies are investigating the case of a break-in and a joyride of a locomotive in Newberry.
All right, some GTL. Gotcha. Grand Theft Locomotive. Well, you know what? That's not going to be much of a chase. They can only go to a straight line.
Exactly. The break-in was discovered Monday by the Florida Central Railroad, deputies say. However, the joyride is believed to have occurred between Wednesday and Sunday.
Did they realize when they showed up at a fucking train's gone?
Officials say the 1959 EMD GP18, which is what the engine is called.
Hey, Ricky, are you into model trains?
No, but if you are. But the suspects may have gained access through a window.
Of the train?
Yes.
Okay.
2 switches valued at $30,000 were damaged when the locomotive was put into motion.
Well, switches be crazy.
What it takes a lot of balls to just climb up in a train and start running the damn thing.
Well, first of all, it takes some nuts to just steal a car or a motorcycle or a hovercraft or a fan boat or whatever, right? But these crazy sons of bitches.
I'm sure fan boat thefts are very frequent in Florida.
Well, it's Florida, yeah. So we're going to have to get a fan boat episode, too, after the Space Camp episode. So these sons of bitches decide, you know what, Billy, if we're going to jail, let's steal a train. The hell, man? Do you think there's, like, keys? Okay, how do you start a train?
I couldn't tell you. It must not be that hard. These guys from Florida, or guys, presumably guys from Florida, figured it out. I'm sure I could. I guess. I've never been in the.
I once had someone show me how to start a submarine.
Well, that's pretty cool.
There's a submarine docked in Cleveland, and me and my buddy Charlie got on. You can do tours, obviously. We didn't break into a submarine. And we got in.
So you say.
Yeah. We paid. So we got in the submarine, took a tour, and there was an old dude on the submarine. He happened to have served on that submarine.
Oh, that's cool.
And showed us how to start the damn thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. By the way, if you're my size, it's hard to get in and out of a submarine.
Right.
Just public service announcement.
If you happen to know what happened to this train, the Alachua County Sheriff's Office is asking you to give them a call.
Wait, the train's gone?
Well, I think they know where the train is, but they don't know who did it, is the problem.
Oh, okay. I was like, the tracks go one direction. You can just follow the damn tracks.
Yeah, so if you know,
Holy hell,
if you want to
Florida.
rat out whoever did that, then go for it.
It was George Carlin, Mr. Conductor. It was Ringo. Ringo's the only Mr. Conductor still around. So I'm Ringo. I stole a train once.
Oh, all right. One more thing out of Florida.
Okay, sounds good.
You see, guests get kicked out of hotel in Kissimmee Resort after it abruptly closes. After spending hundreds to get a room at a Central Florida resort during spring break, guests were abruptly kicked out on Thursday.
You want to talk about sucks?
Exactly.
Can you imagine being crashed at a hotel room? Spring break, so you're probably hungover.
And there aren't any other hotel rooms.
There's no other hotel rooms, and they all of a sudden kick you out. What? Okay, what happened? I got to know this one.
All right. The hotel had been sold without any warning, and without full refunds. The building had to be cleared out. We don't really know what we're going to do, Victoria Oquendo said. Oquendo and her family flew to Central Florida from Rhode Island for what was supposed to be a 2-week relaxing vacation. You know, with COVID, it's been tough, so we're trying to have a good time, she said. The family booked their stay at Champions World Resort in Kissimmee. She said the vacation was going great until Thursday. Yes. Havoc just broke loose. Everyone just started coming outside. Everyone's packing their bags and stuff. Oquendo said.
Can't you just sit there and be like, hey, no?
I mean, what are they going to do?
Call the cops? I mean, eventually I'm assuming you'd have to leave, but I mean, hey, what's the name of the place again?
It was, let me see here. It was the Champions World Resort.
Is there any way with the modern state-of-the-art technology we have where we can call that resort and ask them if we can get a room? I just want to talk to somebody at this point. Have you ever heard of something like that?
No, I've never heard of anything.
That is nuts, dude. That's nuts bread.
All the hotels, like I guessed, all the other hotels in the area were full, of course, because it's spring break, and so those people were just sort of screwed.
There you go. Good job, Florida. You can't even go visit Florida without dealing with their nuts bread nonsense down there.
All right, what's coming up in the third segment there, Dan?
Probably more stupid stuff. How about a lean missile? I drive a Beeuick. Bzz. And the paranormal news, Return of the Pharaoh's Curse.
No Good News Network, the news no one cares about.
Knocker News Network.
You know, the only place on the entire internet to get Noka News merchandise is nokanews.store.
I did know that, actually, yes. I did a Google search once.
We see to it that nobody bootlegs our merchandise. You need to get the official merchandise from nokanews.store.
Man, I want to go to a flea market and see if I can find some bootleg Noka gear.
It's flying off the shelves. People are trying to make money on our intellectual property. So make sure that you go to nokanews.store for your officially licensed Noka News Network merchandise.
Have you been drinking out of your Noka mug?
How could you tell?
Well, because you're over there being an idiot. That's usually my job.
Because I'm rambling wildly and making accusations that aren't true.
In no sense whatsoever, yes.
Here's what you need to know. There's hoodies, t-shirts, face masks, tote bags, coffee mugs, all at nokanews.store. It's the place for Noka News merch.
Well, let me go over there and check it out then, I guess. Drunky.
Dan, you two-time in SOB, you've got another podcast, don't you?
Yeah. Well, yes, I do. But you know what? I've always loved you.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. Tell me about your other podcast.
All right. The other podcast is called...
Who is it?
It's called Give Me Back My Action Movies, and I do it with Charlie.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. So...
You dirty dog.
Well, I'm a podcast slut. Anyway, so the podcast over there we do... we talk about VHS era action movies, 80s, 90s, blockbuster type stuff. You know, going to the video store when you were a kid, right?
Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah. We can say blockbuster because there ain't any left. They're not going to sue us. So go over and check it out. It is Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. We're on all the major platforms, and the Facebook group is really where the conversation's going. So join the group, listen to the podcast, get in the conversations with us, and have a good time.
Welcome back. Last segment of the show today. It's the Noka News Network, the news no one cares about. I'm Ricky French.
What do you mean I can't get my continental breakfast? I don't care if you sold or not. You dirty sons of... Oh, hey. Oh, I didn't know you hit the button yet.
You don't want any lumpy oatmeal and tiny boxes of cornflakes anyway.
I wanted clean floor corn. That was bad. I wanted clean cornflakes and lumpy sheets. That was even worse. I should have just shut up when I blew the joke the first time, I guess. I'm so sorry, Ricky.
Well, you should be.
Yeah.
I guess I'll forgive you.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right, we're going to move to Louisiana here to start the third segment of the show.
Oh, I got tea. Ooh, doggy.
A Louisiana woman is accused of setting...
Wait a minute. Ain't there a song, Louisiana Woman?
Mississippi Man?
Yeah.
We can't sing on the damn thing.
Oh, now who do we owe money to?
It's...
As soon as we actually make money on this show, we're going to owe it to everybody.
June Carter Cash is who we owe that money to.
I'd pay her some money. Yeah.
A Louisiana woman accused of setting fires told investigators she and her boyfriend were trying to get rid of snakes.
That's how I'd do it.
The State Department of Agriculture and Forestry says.
I'd flamethrower the shit out of those little creepy, slithery bastards. No problem.
Robert Lee Ramirez.
Oh my God, Robert Lee
Ramirez
from Louisiana.
Yeah, but he's Robert Lee Ramirez though.
You know, there's an E in there somewhere.
He's 34. He's from Leesville. A lot of Lees going on here. Faces 2 counts of arson, and he remained at large on Tuesday, department spokesman Veronica Musgrove said in an email. Laura Ashley Lee, his girlfriend, so many Lees,
Sprayos in town.
34, also of Leesville, was arrested on a $3,500 bond after being arrested March 18th on 1 count of arson.
That's like you being from Frenchburg.
Right, or French Lick, Indiana.
Or just France.
Right. According to the statement, investigators say Ramirez set multiple fires along the road and in woods owned by others and around their home.
You do realize that if you were French, we wouldn't do this show.
No, because we wouldn't have a sense of humor.
That's true. Well, I think it's debatable if people listen to this show if we have a sense of humor to begin with, but continue your story.
That was more or less it. Veronica Musgrove, a spokesperson for the court in Leesville, said that she didn't know whether she had an attorney.
So they were trying to kill some snakes and set some shit on fire.
Yeah, they just started setting people's properties on fire because they don't like snakes.
Yeah, I get it. I don't see the problem in that story. I think they're being unjustifiably harassed by law enforcement. Let's go to Powhatan County, Virginia. I think that's how you say it.
Let me see it.
Oh, there it is. Is that right?
That'd be Powhatan County.
Powhatan. What did I say? Powhatan?
Yeah.
Wow, that was way off. Wild footage shows a deer flying through the front windshield of a school bus in Virginia early Thursday morning.
Oh dear.
Yes, it somehow walked away unscathed. Footage from inside the moving bus in that county in Virginia shows the animal barrel through the window with enough zip to soar over the entry and land flat onto an unsuspecting student laying down asleep in the front row. Visibly frightened, the deer shuffles around the front of the bus for a few seconds before the driver opens the door and lets it out. It says that the student can be quoted as being said, "What was that?" And another student replies, "It was a fucking deer." Yeah, that's the end of the story there, folks, because that's pretty much sums that on for yourself. If you're on a school bus and a deer blows through the window, you're going to yell, "It was a fucking deer."
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I would say.
I don't think there's anything else that we can just discontinue that story at that point. I got nothing else, man.
All right. Didn't you have something else about a school bus?
Probably. Did you hand me something else about a school bus? You did. A man who tailed a school bus Drunk, has a history of DUIs. There's a big surprise.
Oh, imagine that.
Well, it's from Butte, Montana. What else you want to do except get hammered and follow buses, I guess.
That's true.
A man who was allegedly drunk when he recently followed a Butte school bus to the bus barn had a gallon of Nikolai vodka.
A gallon?
A gallon of Nikolai vodka. It's got to be horrible.
I'm sure that's a high dollar.
Any booze you can get by the gallon's got to be really high test. He had it in the center console and had already had at least 5 Deweys, prosecutors say. They not only charged the 60-year-old Ronnie Allen Harriman with another felony DUI that carries a possible 5-year prison term, but also felony criminal endangerment with a 10-year max and a fine up to $50,000. Harriman pled not guilty Wednesday to those charges and a misdemeanor count of driving without insurance. Oh, who cares at that point?
Right. I mean, who's going to give this guy insurance? I'm sure he can't afford it, what with the 5 DUIs.
Well, unless he goes to maybe the general.com or something.
That's funny.
This district judge, Robert Whalen, it says, set the next hearing for April 7th, like anyone cares, unless you're this guy. He's listed as homeless in court records and remains jailed with a bond set at $6,000. According to the bus driver, Harriman was tailing him on the afternoon of March 9th in a gold Buick. Sounds nice.
Okay.
And was all over the road from the 2400 block of Continental Drive. You know, Continental Drive there.
Oh, yeah, Continental Drive.
Yeah, down the road from the bus barn on Front Street.
Uh-huh.
At one point, he attempted to pass the bus and almost caused a wreck.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what happens when you're sipping on a gallon of...
when you're hammered to the bejesus belt and back. Right. When officers arrived at the bus barn, the bus driver had already taken the keys out of the car's ignition and kept the keys away from Harriman and said he fell down multiple times outside the car. At the Butte jail, he urinated on himself.
This guy didn't have a good day.
No.
That was not a good day.
And a breathalyzer showed his blood alcohol level. Okay, let's play a new game here on NOCO. Ricky, when we do one of our Dewey stories, which is weekly basically at this point, we're going to guess the BAC, the blood alcohol content. Ricky, what are you going to go on this one?
All right, so 0.08 is the legal limit.
Most places, yes.
So this guy who is falling down and urinating on himself, my guess would be that it is over double that, so it's over 0.16.
Right.
So I'm gonna guess 0.2.
No, you were close. It's a whopping 0.298%.
Holy moly!
Yes,
that's very good.
Which is actually more blood alcohol content than most Budweisers, I think. He stated that because those things are just...
How much blood is in a Budweiser?
I don't know, man. They taste like shit, so probably some. Sometimes I'm an idiot when I read these. Let's see here. He stated that he drank a lot earlier, about 5 or 6 hours ago. I'm sorry. I drank a lot earlier, about 5 or 6 hours ago, according to charging documents. Those documents charged right at him. Those documents did not list his previous Dewey conviction dates, but 2 were for a 4th or subsequent offense. Meaning this will be at least 6 or so charges of DUI at this point. But the dude's 60. I mean,
and he's living in a Buick, and
not now. He's gonna be living in the pen at this point. Maybe that's why he did it. He was tired of being homeless and wanted bologna sandwiches.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I hear they're fantastic. Ricky, you want to do paranormal news now?
Sure. This week has a little ancient history tied to it here, Dan.
Oh, I like that.
A string of strange incidents in Egypt sparks Pharaoh's curse speculation. A series of strange events that have occurred in Egypt over the last week has sparked speculation among residents that perhaps the country has been struck by a Pharaoh's curse.
No, the Pharaoh's curse was 3 of those mummies movies with Brendan Fraser in them.
Yeah, right. They say that maybe they're struck by a Pharaoh's curse ahead of a forthcoming parade of royal mummies. So that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Wait. So these mummies are just going to be parading down the street?
Well,
that sounds terrifying. I mean, cool, but terrifying.
The most high-profile incident took place last week when a massive cargo ship became stuck in the Suez Canal. However, that headline-making predicament was just one of several odd events which have reportedly caused some Egyptians to express concern that bad luck has befallen their country.
That wasn't done by a mummy. It was done by a moron.
Yeah, well, beyond the ship, last week saw a train crash that killed 39 people. That's bad.
Damn. Okay.
The collapse of an apartment building where 18 people died, and a massive fire at a railway station, which thankfully did not result in any deaths, but did cause considerable chaos.
It sounds to me like they need to be more concerned with occupational safety.
Right. Taken together, the spate of unfortunate events has led some residents to put forward an intriguing supernatural source for their country's current problems, a Pharaoh's curse. Specifically, they point to a much anticipated national event set to unfold this coming Saturday, wherein 22 royal mummies from the Egyptian Museum will be transported to their new home in the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. The elaborate procession has been dubbed the Pharaoh's Golden Parade and will see the ancient remains of the former Egyptian rulers transported through the streets of Cairo, complete with celebrity guests, musical performances, and various other forms of pageantry.
Okay, so with the guests, will they have that dude from the History Channel, the Ancient Aliens guy with the hair and the hands?
I'm sure, probably.
Okay, and will they have the Bengals performing there as the musical guests?
As their people are walking like an Egyptian down the street.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah. Other celebrity guests could include Richard Dean Anderson from Stargate and Kurt Russell, who played the same character from Stargate.
And The Rock.
Ah, yeah. And Brendan Fraser, because what else is he doing?
Right.
Encino Man 2?
Let's hope not.
No, tell me about it. So we're talking Old Testament, real wrath of God type stuff, right? Like plagues and shit like that? All right, well, what happens, Ricky?
Cats and dogs living together.
Mass hysteria. Yeah, exactly. So now we're going to get sued by Ivan Reitman. Okay, so, Ricky, let's say that you went shopping.
Yeah.
Let's say you lived in New Mexico. Las Cruces, New Mexico, by the way.
I got my buddy Mike lives near Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Isn't that where all the vampires are from, like, what was that? The movie with the Haim brothers.
Lost
Corey
Boys?
Haim. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so New Mexico, you just went grocery shopping.
Yeah.
But in New Mexico, this man got much more than he bargained for when he returned to his car in the parking lot, and a swarm of 15,000 honeybees had taken over the back seat.
Just while he was inside?
That's what this is telling me, man. The man, whose name was not released, I want to say it was Winnie the Pooh, had left a window down in a Buick. Why are we got a lot of Buick stories here?
It's all about Buicks.
We sponsored by Buick now? While he made
I wish. I love a good Buick.
like a Regal. He made a 10-minute stop at an Albertsons supermarket on Sunday afternoon in Las Cruces, New Mexico. It wasn't until he had started to drive away that he noticed that something was amiss, according to the...
that there was a buzz.
Okay, yeah, there was a buzz about this story.
Yeah.
All right, Ricky. How in the holy hell do you get 15,000 bees in your vehicle in a 10-minute shopping trip?
Yeah.
And then not notice said large quantity of honeybees in the back of your car?
Yeah, I mean, you would assume, even if you put the groceries in the trunk, you would assume that you would see the back window and notice the car full of bees. When you open the trunk, I don't know.
Exactly. So, according to the Las Cruces Fire Department, the guy, he turned back and looked and was like, holy cow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, according. He called 911 because he didn't know what to do. This guy is a 10-year member of the fire department who's kind of recanting this, I guess. He said he just finished a family barbecue when he got the call from the fire department, figured that he could safely remove and relocate the bees to his property. Because he's a beekeeper as well.
Oh, okay.
Anything I can do? He says, I'll do anything to keep people from killing the bees, he said.
Well,
I assume he sounded like that because anyone that keeps bees probably sounds like that.
Probably it's a good idea that people are trying to save the bees because they're dying in large numbers and we're probably not far behind.
Yeah, probably so. But I'm just thinking now, maybe the bees were in the Buick because it was a Buick Regal.
And the Queen, yeah, I get it.
Yahtzee.
All right. One last thing to get to this week there, Dan.
All right.
And that's these gender reveal parties.
Yes.
Enough is enough with these things.
Yeah, they've gotten a little crazy.
All right, so this one, 2 people died in Mexico when a plane being used for a gender reveal stunt crashed into the sea as the parents-to-be and guests cheered for the big moment that never came.
I'm sorry for people dying, but they cheered and a plane crashed into the sea, huh?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The deadly crash happened this week off the coast of Cancun, where expecting parents hired a plane to fly a banner announcing they were having a baby girl. As you can, in a video that they posted, you can see the plane doing a series of stunts over the water before it takes a nosedive straight down, disappearing into the water with a huge splash.
Well, yeah, it's a plane.
There were 4 people on board of the aircraft, and 2 of them died, according to local reports. 1 person died before rescuers could reach them, and the other while receiving first aid.
Dude, this is insane. So having a baby has turned into just a giant flag-waving party for the parents at this point. First of all, you have the shower. All right, you want some free stuff for your kid. I get it. I got 3 kids. I understand this, okay? So you get some free crap for your kids. All right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a gender reveal party again to show.
You want to play that game where you taste the baby food and say what flavor it is or whatever, too?
No.
That's a thing they do with those, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know about it.
What flavor is that? Crap. What flavor is that? Other crap. It's all got to be pretty horrible. Yeah. I don't know. Like
it's been a real long time since I've had it.
Well, my kids still eat those like Yo Baby kind of pouches with the smushed up food in them. I call them space food because they're like little packets that you have to.
Yeah.
So I mean, they even ask for like space food. They call it space food. They know it's space food, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they might get to go to space camp before we do at this point. They're already qualified to have space food.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, at this point, just leave it alone. Just go. I mean, if you want to go on Facebook, be like.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing the ticking. I know it's really bad for radio.
I get it, yeah.
Yeah. But we are excited. We are having a baby. It is a girl. Post.
Yeah, that thing, if you want to get like somebody to bake a cupcake that's either blue or pink inside or whatever you want to do.
Sure, okay.
Sure, that's fine. But when people are dying in plane crashes and you burned up half the state of California, like that gender reveal party that happened last year.
Just let it go. Who cares?
These things are getting out of hand.
All it is people looking for attention going, look at us, we're having a baby. The husband's like, look at me, I dropped some baby batter over here, I impregnated, I went ahead and went down to Pound Town and took care of it, look what I did. That's all it is. It's like, hey man, I don't give a rat's ass if you're having a baby. Am I paying for it? No. Then I don't care. It's a bit ridiculous, Ricky.
Well,
are you having any kids anytime soon?
No, I'm not.
All right, that's probably a pretty good thing.
All right. Well, I think Dan's real good and riled up, so we better end things before they go too far.
Hey, check us out on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all your podcatchers.
We're finally on Apple now.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Bill Gates, you son of a...
Bill Gates didn't have anything to do with Apple.
Oh, which one then?
It's Tim Cook now, but it was Steve Jobs.
I thought Tim Cook ran the Boston Brewery, the Sam Adams place.
I don't know. Maybe there's a different Tim Cook.
I don't know. Anyway, we're on Apple now, folks. Check us out.
Visit our merch store if you want to buy a T-shirt, hoodie, what have you.
I have one now.
Yeah, we're both wearing our Noka News merch.
Yeah,
and with our Noka News mugs. It's very Noka Newsy in here right now.
It's the Noka News Network.
It's Noka News Network Studio. You're right. Noka News Network will be back next week with more news no one cares about.
Noka News Network.